My 365 Podcasts with me, Pete Cohen. This week on My 365, we've been looking at a subject that is very familiar to me, and it's called Shut the Duck Up. Now, Shut the Duck Up might sound a little bit strange to you, like it's a play on words, and to a certain extent it is, but really it's all to do with the quality of your life. And we all know that the basic quality of our life comes down to many things. The fact that you can breathe right here, right now, well, that affects the quality of your life. Just try not breathing and see how long you stick around for. Breathing is vital. And what comes next on that scale? Well, maybe it's water. How long could you not drink water for? Probably not very long. And what about sleep? What about food? What about a sense of belonging? What about a roof over your head? Now, all of these things are important. Maybe you can think about in your life, where are your priorities? But there is something which often people don't talk about. And in my work over the last 25 years or so, it's probably the thing that I'm still most fascinated with. And that is how you talk to yourself, the voice in your head. I mean, right here, right now, chances are you're probably not really listening to me because there's another conversation that's going on, and that's the conversation inside your head. You see, many years ago, long ago, and this is the story of everyone's life pretty much, is that once upon a time, we didn't talk to ourselves, but we learned to. Why did we learn to do such a thing? That's a really good question. You see, when we're really young, we don't really know the difference between right and wrong, or good or bad. We just observe. The other day, I was watching a child in the restaurant that we were at. It was a baby, maybe 1 year old, and you could quite clearly tell that the child was just in a constant state of observing, a constant state of curiosity, and a constant state, if it wasn't happy, it was going to let you know about it. And in a way, that's something that many of us have lost, our desire to observe, our desire to be curious, our desire, even when we do learn to eventually talk, is that we actually say what we think as opposed to talking to ourselves. So most children up until the age of 3 don't really talk to themselves, but this is something they learn to do. Why? That's another really good question, even though it's exactly the same question that I just asked before. But I'd like all of you to become a little bit more curious, because I would love all of you to be a better version of yourself, and for you to achieve the life that you want, for you to be fitter, healthier, happier, more confident. But you see, the success we have in our life all operates from the stance that we're coming from, which really revolves around what we say to ourselves. Now, many of you have heard me say on these podcasts before that it's estimated that human beings have anything between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts in any one day. That's a lot of thinking. But what happened was that when you were very, very, very young, you eventually learned to talk to yourself because you became self-conscious. You see, we learn by talking, we learn by using our senses. But when we get to a certain age, we start to become a little bit insecure because we realize that we are very small amongst giants. And then we're told things like we should be seen and not heard. And many messages that we pick up along the way make us feel that we're not quite right the way that we are. And then we start one of the biggest no-nos that many of us become really good. In fact, if we were giving out gold medals, I wonder how many of you all over the world right now would say to yourself, yeah, I'd get a gold medal in comparing myself to other people. It's something that so many people do, to the point where they don't actually realize. And most of us don't actually realize what it is that we're saying to ourselves. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't talk to yourself. In fact, you probably will never stop talking to yourself. But the quality of your life comes down to the quality of the things that you say to yourself on a repeated basis. Now, for me, that voice in your head, it is like a duck that quacks away and tells you things that you can do, you shouldn't do. It talks down to you in many cases, and that's because it's never been given any direction. You see, if you think about What is it that so many people suffer from? Well, we suffer from social comparison, but we also have the ability to do the opposite. We have the ability to laugh, to encourage ourselves, to be excited, to look for the good in things. But this is our challenge in life, is to change the way we communicate with ourselves so we can operate from a different stance and we can be everything that we could be and more. Abraham Maslow said what a man can be, he must be. But most of us don't settle for anything even near that. We settle for a life of, I'm not good enough. You see, when we think about the messages that we received from a very early age, it was, well, you're not good enough, so you need to do this, and then you need to do that, and then you need to go to school, and then you need to get a good job, and then you need to get married, and so we're always comparing ourselves to something we've been told, which was never really our idea, and then we hold ourselves to standards that other people have. And many of these things we were told to the point where we have started to tell ourselves these things over and over and over again. And what I'm asking you to do is don't believe the hype. I remember a song by Public Enemy, which I think came out in about 1988. It was called Don't Believe the Hype. Don't believe everything that you're told. Don't believe everything that you're telling yourself. And when we look at, well, how can you master this? How can you take control of your life? Well, the first step is definitely awareness. And the second step is then to become aware of how you're thinking, how that is affecting you, how that's affecting your thoughts. Because your thoughts will definitely affect your feelings, and your feelings will affect your actions. Now, at My365, we believe that everyone's future, it's not written. And even if it was, would you want to read it? Plus, we also believe that you have the power to do something about where you are right now. You do have that power, even though sometimes you might not feel like it. And there are things that so many of us can do to change the way we feel in a second. And this is my challenge to you today, this week, is that whenever you're lost in an emotion that you're not enjoying, do something. Do something to radically change the way you feel. Whether it's to read something inspiring, whether it's to listen to some music, to see how quickly you can change your state. And as you become more aware of what your duck is saying to you inside your head, just remember, you always have a choice. You have a choice in whether you choose to believe what you say. You have a choice to find humor in what you say. You also have the ability to ignore it. Now, with our My365 Elite members, one of the things we did recently is we sent them all a plastic duck, and we asked all of them to name their duck. And this is something I would encourage every single one of you to do. Buy a duck. What does it symbolize? It can symbolize the voice in your head, taking it out of your head and looking at that duck. And look at that duck and think, what is that duck saying to me? And listen to what it is that you have to say to yourself. And again, when you do this, you'll start to realize, wow, I have power, I have control, I have the ability to choose how I feel. You see, when you're in something, it's like people who work in their businesses. Many of the businesses that I've helped transform over the last 10, 15 years has all been about helping people step back and look at things differently. That's the real change in life, my friends. It's when you take the time to look at things from a different perspective, because people don't change when they are told what to do. Not real change. Real change comes when you go, wow, I've never thought of it like that. You see, the voice in your head is in your head. Use your imagination to take it out of your head and imagine that duck is talking to you. What's it saying to you? Is it true what it's saying to you? You will find this so powerful. But you'll only find it powerful by doing it. Chances are you listen to this and go, hey, that's really interesting, Pete. Yes, very interesting. Yes, I know a lot of stuff, but I'll do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Tomorrow is now, right now. And you have the ability in any single moment to change your life by changing what you do, by choosing to change the stance that you're operating from. You see, you could say, you know what? Yes, I want to change. I want to be slim. I want to be fit. I want to be healthier. But if you're coming from the stance of, well, I don't really value this at all, I don't think it's worth it, and you're not good enough, then you're never going to go anywhere. It's time for you to take control. It's time for you to shut your duck up, or find humor in your duck, or not even listen to the duck. But I challenge you to do something. Whether you have a duck or not, go and get one. Give it a name. Mine's called Steve. But when I notice that I'm giving myself a hard time. It's the simple things in life, my friends, which is the most effective. And I've used this with world and Olympic champions, and I've used this with people with multiple fears and multiple phobias. We can get out of our head, we can take control, and we can live our life to the full. That is what My 365 is all about. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this podcast today. Feel free to share it. We need people to hear this information. We need people to realize that they can change their life. It is possible. We don't have to be victims of our past. We can create an incredible future. And that's what we're doing each and every single day. Check out our live broadcasts every day on Facebook at 7 a.m. Go to my365, mi365.me, and find out how you can get involved in 365 days of free life coaching. This is the real deal, my friends. Have an incredible day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. My 365 is getting results with people just like you with our free live broadcasts, our Facebook group, and our podcasts. We have already helped millions of people change their lives for the better, and we're committed to help millions more to create the life they want today. So whether you want to be slimmer, fitter, healthier, happier, more confident, financially free, more successful, more productive, then My 365 Elite is for you. You see, your future is unwritten, and you have the power to change. And as you start to see changes, the thirst for more grows, and your desire to get more results grows with it. And that is why I would like to invite you to join My 365 Elite. My 365 Elite is all about providing you with a way to embark on a game-changing voyage of self-discovery and success. You'll do more, discover more, and achieve more. You'll optimize your life, and you will have access to my coaching knowledge and experience in a structured way, but with the freedom to fit it around your own circumstances. That is what our membership program is about. So head over to my365elite.me. That's mi365elite.me and secure your place today. My 365 Elite is only open for people to join for a limited time period. So head over now to find out more and secure your space today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and if you want more free inspiration to optimize your life so you can achieve your goals in all the different areas of your life, then visit mi365.me. That's mi365.me and sign up to 365 days of free coaching with me, Pete Cohen. Thanks for listening, and have an awesome day.